Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I will be discussing about list data structure in Python. First, I will discuss what is list, then how to create list, and then list operations like list indexing and list slicing, and finally, I will discuss some important methods which is available in the list. So let's get started by defining lists. We know that list is nothing but it's a mutable ordered collection of heterogeneous elements. So what do you mean by mutable? We know that mutable means that list items are modifiable, and the order that we are storing the list items will be the same. It will not change. And the last one, which is saying it is heterogeneous element, means that inside list we can store different data types. So we will just prove this, or we will speak about this once we are creating lists. So now we will discuss how to create lists. We have two ways of creation lists. The first one, we can create list using square bracket, or we can also create list using list constructor. So let's discuss. If I want to create my first list, or I will say my list is nothing but, so this is the way that we will create list. Inside this, I can write my list element. My list element, for example, 12, select 7, then my another name ID, another name Omar, another name, for example, John. Then I will store 34 for 5, and then I will store true. See, as I just tell you now, if I print my list, I will say print my list. If I run the program, see, it will show my list items. See, at the beginning, I told you that list is ordered collection of heterogeneous element. Order means I have stored the 12 at the beginning, and I have stored the true value at the last. See, the order does not change, or the order has not changed. So that's why we are saying that list is nothing but order and collection of heterogeneous element. What do you mean by heterogeneous element? See, inside our list, I have integer data type, I have string, I have float, and I have boolean. So any type of data I can store inside my list. That's why it's not like array in Java, or it's not like array in C or C++ that we were able to store only one data type. Here we can store different objects with different types of data. So that's why we are saying that it is heterogeneous element. And we will now, let's discuss about its mutability. What do you mean by list is mutable? We're saying that we can change the list element. For example, I want to change this one. I want to change this to 22. So how I will do, I will go inside my list. I will say this index is 0. For that index number 0, I want to change from 12 to, for example, 22. Then I will print again my list. I will say print my list. If I run it again, see, now print my list. See here I have done a mistake. See my list. See, now 12 is converted to 22. That's why, see, it's three properties. Mutability means we can modify list. Now I have written 12, I can print with 22. I can modify it with 22. See, here I can write my old list, and here I will say my new list. See, if I run it, see, in my old news or old list, I have 12, which I have converted, or I have edited, I have modified it to 22. That's why it is called mutable. And the ordered and heterogeneous we have already discussed. Now let's discuss about list operations, which is list indexing. Why do we need list indexing in the first place? We'll need list indexing, for example, if I have a numbers of list, or list of numbers. For example, I have 12, I have 45, 67, 89, 65, 43, 32, 5, 3, 4, 2. So this is my list. If I want to print one item from this list, for example, I want to print 45, I want to print 89, I want to access 89, then how I will do? I need to use indexing. Indexing is used to print or access one element inside list, not more than that. So how can we access? We know that in list indexing is always, if you are going to address the list from left side, it is going to be started by 0. For example, the index for 12 is 0, the index for 45 is 1, the index for 67 is 2, the index for this one is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the way that we can address or index our list elements from left side. For example, if I write 0, it will print 2, for me 12. If I write 8, which is the last element, it will print 4. So this is 9, it will be 10. If I write the index 10, it will print me the last element, which is 2. Now, if I want to address from right side, Since sometimes the people will say print me the last element, if I start counting from left side and go till the 10th, it will be boring. So if I want to print the last element, I can address from right side also. If I want to address from right side, my index will start from -1. So the index for this one is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So if I want to print 2, if I address from right side, its address will be 10. If I address from left side, it will be 10. If I address it from right side, it will be -1. So if I now convert this one to -1, it will print the same thing. It will tell me, yeah, it is a game 2. So now, if I want to print this 3 and I want to address from right side, I will write -2. It will print the 3. This was indexing. Now let's discuss about string slicing. That's where or how do we use string slicing. String slicing is used whenever we want to print not single element from the list. Whenever we want to print a range of element. For example, if I want to print from 45 to 89, which is not single element, which is range of element. In this case, I cannot use in the list indexing. I have to use list slicing. So I have to give my starting point and I have to give also my ending point that you need to print from this point to this point. Let's now discuss here. I will say if I want to print my list, which is the number of my list is numbers, I have to print from starting point. What is my starting point? This index number 1. So I will say print from index number 1, and now I have to get the ending point. Tell which point. This is index number 1, index number 2, index number 3. I want to print from 1 to 3, but in Python I have to write 1 to 4. Why? Because it will consider 1, but it will not consider 4. It will go 1 to 3. Now let's see. Yeah, it is printing 45, 67, and 89. It has gone to 3, index number 3. So now, if I do not want to, this is the one case. The second case, if I will be using index slicing, will be string slice, list slicing will be like if I want to print from index number 1 to end of the list, then I have to specify the starting point. If I do not specify the ending point, it will print till end of the list. So this is another case. Another case is whenever I'm saying print till 65. So this index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to write here 5 till 5, but I'm not specifying the starting point. It will print me from 0. The default element for the starting point is 0, 0 to fourth element. And the last case for this one will be like whenever I'm not going to specify anything. I'm not going to specify the starting point and also ending point. It will start from 0. It will go to the end of the list. So now let's come on the other case where we are using staples. So here by default the step value is 1. Whenever we are not giving a step, it is going to be 1. For example, when I'm saying go from 1 to 3, it is going to index number 1. Next time it will go to index number 2, means the step is going to be 1 plus 1, 2. Next time it is going to be step number index number 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the default value for the step is 1. But let's see an example. If I want to print all the list elements with the odd indexes, with the odd index. Odd index means what? For example, if I say example for this one, odd index example, index number 1, index number 3, 5, 7, 9. So here I know that if I want to use string slicing, I have to give here step also. I will say go to numbers, and then I know that when I'm saying step and odd indexes, I have to start from index number 1. Why? Because index number 0 is even. So I have to start from index number 1, and I will not specify the end because it have to go to the end of the string. So I'm not specifying here because it need to go to the end of the list. Now I need to specify my step. Now let us discuss about step. So first I will be in the index number 1. I should not go to index number 2. I should go directly to index number 3. So a step is 2. 1 plus 2, 3. When I'm in the index number 3, I need to go to index number 5. I should not go into index number 4. So again, a step is 2. So that's why I'm here specifying the 2. Now if I run it, it will print me 45, which is index number 1, 89, which is index number 3, 43, 5, and 3. It will print me all the list elements with the odd indexes. That's what a step is doing here. Now let's go and discuss some string methods. The first method which we will be discussing about is append. Append is nothing, but it is just used, for example, if I print my list here. So this is my list. If I want to add a new number, for example, I want to add the number. If a person is saying me, for example, add 780 to the end of the list. Now, usually I'm not able to do it. For example, if I run it, I know that this is the index number 10, and after that, the index number will be 11. But I will not be able to directly add it. So how can I add it? I will just say here, I will say go to the numbers. This is my list, and then I will say append the number 780. So now I've, again, after this, if I print my list, if I'll say go and print numbers, before this also, if I print my list, print numbers, see if I print it at the boot time, say if I run it, see before this 780 was not available, but if as I append, 780 is added to the end of my list. So append method is used to add one item to the end of our list. So this is how this append method is working. But see, let's see if I want this. Let's me take another list. If this is my list, so if this is my list and I want to add a number after, for example, my number is 11, the number that I want to add is 11, and I want to add it after 12. I want to add it between 12 and 45. I want not only add this item to my list, but I'm specifying its location also. Its location must be here. So this time I can use insert method. In insert method, we can add an element to the list, and also we can specify its index number. So let me discuss this one. So before that, first I will print my numbers. I will say, now let me insert number 11. How can I insert? I will write my list name dot insert, and then I want to specify, so after 12 the index number will be 1. So inserted the index number 1 in this position. Which element? Element number 11. After this, again, I will print my list to check whether the change has come or not. See, 11 is added, but not at the end of the list, at the position that we specified, position number 1. So other elements have gone towards the right. Now let's discuss about the two methods which are used to remove the elements from our list. We have two methods. The first one is remove. Remove is going to remove the elements from the list based on element, but the pop is used to remove or delete the elements based on the index. For if you want to know this one properly, let's give a list of names. For example, I have a list of names, Ali, and the other one will be Ahmad. The other one will be, for example, John. The other name will be Karim. The other name will be, for example, Sobesh. So these are the names, and I have the list of names, but I want to delete. So I have to, the when I want to remove elements by item name. For example, I will say remove John. So this is the item name. I'm not giving the address. I'm removing it using the item. So I will remove, I will say go to names dot remove, and I will give my item name. My item name is John. So again, after this, I will print my names or my list of names. Print names. If I run the program, see John is removed. But next time, if I have this list, but I want to, for example, this time, this is my name list. I want to remove Ahmed, but not based on his name. I want to remove, I will say, remove the item with the index number 1. If I want to remove by the index number, then I have to use the pop function. Pop function will delete an element based on its index and will return. I will say names dot pop. When I'm using pop, I have to give the index number. So the index number for Ahmed is 1. If I give here 1, it will remove Ahmed. So pop is going to delete based on the address. Now if I print names, see, Ahmed is not available. It has deleted Ahmed. But if I'm not going to specify the index number, usually pop will delete the last element. If I do not specify here, it will delete always the last element. See? So if I do not specify, it's not deleting Ahmed. It will delete Sobesh. So this is something about pop. The next method is clear. Clear will delete everything from the list. So, and then after that, we have index. This index is used to check or search a specific element inside the list. And if that is available, it will give the index number for that. For example, if I want to know where is Karim, So I have to use names dot index, and then inside that I need to give the element. I'll say Karim. If I run it, see, Karim is available, and the index number for Karim is 3, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is how index is working. Count is going to check how many times a single element or a specific element is coming inside the list. So let's give another example for count also. So if we have this list, and if I'm bringing the name Ali 2 times, and I want to check how many times Ali has come, so I will say print, then I will say names dot count Ali. So it will count this element inside this list, how many times it has come. If I run it 2 times, if I check for Ahmed, it will say only once. The other one is sort. Sort is usually used to sort our element in ascending order. You know, sort means order our element. For example, if I have numbers, and my number is 23, 4, 55, 3, 4, 2, 1. See, it's 23, 45. So I will just give an order number. So if I want to sort this one, then I will say numbers dot sort. Now if I print my numbers, which is a list of numbers, numbers, yes. If I run it, see, it is already sorted. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. So sort is just nothing but sorting or ordering our elements in a sorting order. Reverse is doing nothing, but if you want to use the reverse, then it will just reverse your list. And the way that you have stored your list, it will just reverse. Let's give an example. For example, if I have the numbers 23, 2, 4, 5, 20, 234. I want to reverse it. I do not want to sort it. I'll say reverse. See if I run it again. Reverse. Yes, see, 24 was the last, now it is the first. 5 was the second last, or now it is the second first. And the last one, which is copy method, the way that I will discuss this one, copy is just going to create a shell copy of our list element. Let's now discuss if I have a list or numbers, which is my first list. I will just store 23, 4, 5, and then if I want to copy this one inside num2, I'll say is equal to num1 dot copy. See why I'm doing this, why I'm not directly copying. Now see, if I'm going inside num2, inside list num2 and index number 0, I'm bringing some change. For example, I'm changing it from 23 to, for example, like this number. Now if I print my number 2 list, so surely it is edited. So it was the copy for this one, but now 23 is edited to this one. Now if I print this one, if I again print my list num1, so or if I print my list num1, see, the list num1 is not modified, so only the list number 2 is modified. But if I was not using copy, what was the problem? So let's see this one also. So if I was not using the word copy, so if I was doing like this, so what was happening now, if I'm changing now what it was doing, it was creating a location for num1, and it was just giving the address for num2. So if I was bringing any change in num2, it would have come to num1 also. Now let's see. See, when I'm editing a number in list 2, it is coming also in list number 1. So that's why it is better if you want to have a deep copy, if you want to copy, if you want to create 2 instances, it will be different list, it will be different list. Then you have to use copy method. So at the end, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and like and comment. Thanks.